1 o'clock in the evening is hardly a long vigil. Is there some reason you thought I might have gone to bed earlier?
Well, you were drinking your cocoa when I left, and you always drop off right after that.
I didn't drink the cocoa.
But you always drink your cocoa.
Tonight I decided not to, so I didn't.
Was there any particular reason
For what?
for not drinking your cocoa?
Suppose I should say that there were.
Are you saying so?
What would you do if I did?
Say it and see.
All right, I did.
Did what?
I did say it.
No, you didn't.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Then I do say it.
Say what?
That there was.
Was what?
The particular reason that I did not drink the cocoa.
Oh, that, yes.
Yes, that.
Edgar, if you didn't drink the cocoa, what did you do with it?
Give it to the cat.
What cat? My cat?
I say, I didn't think that was your cat, wasn't it?
Yes, of course it was, but what do you mean was?
I merely mean to say that it was your cat to whom I gave the cocoa, and it was.
And where's the cat now?
It went out.
Out at where?
You know, I wondered that very same thing myself when it departed. It seemed a trifle upset after drinking the cocoa. It scratched at the door to be let out, so I let it.
And you haven't seen it since, I suppose.
Oh, but I have. I followed it.
What? You followed a cat in the dark? How?
By the headlamp
What headlamp?
of your bicycle.
Edgar! That is a lady's model. What will people think?
Oh, I'm sure no one saw me. A running cat seldom uses the main roads.
Edgar, what could you have been thinking? A man of your age and social position does not ride a lady's model down alleys and over lawns.
Well, it occurred to me that if the cat were feeling unwell, it would turn to someone for help, perhaps its mistress. I instinctively knew that wherever you were, it would find you.
What do you mean, wherever I were? I told you where I was going tonight. I was at a fundraising meeting at the church.
Did you enjoy the meeting?
Well, yes, of course I did, as much as anyone can enjoy one of those tiresome events.
Who was there?
Edgar, I will not be questioned in this manner. One would think that you are a barrister and I was a hostile witness. Now, I'm tired and I'm going to bed. Good night.
Mavis,
Well?
not 2 minutes after you left, the Reverend Smithers rang me up.
Oh?
Yes, he was sorry to inform me that the meeting had been cancelled.
Oh, yes, of course. I was going to tell you all about that. I was just so upset about the cat that it simply slipped my mind.
I see.
Oh, don't you dare be so bloody superior. What is this fox and hounds game you've been playing at since I got home? What are you accusing me of?
Do you know where I finally lost track of the cat? On Sudbury Lane.
Sudbury Lane? How strange. Why in the world would a cat go to Sudbury Lane?
I thought he might be trying to find you.
Oh, preposterous.
You were nowhere near Sudbury Lane.
Oh, well, I may have been. After all, it is between here and the church. I may have driven along it. I simply don't remember.
You don't remember parking your car there?
Oh, well, yes, of course, I did park there. I just didn't realize it was on Sudbury Lane. Oh, yes, that's right. I had a beastly headache and I thought I'd take a short stroll in the open air.
But you weren't in the open air, my dear. You were in the second floor flat of the building in front of which you had parked.
Yes, now I remember.
Remember what?
Well, I had a packet of headache powders and I needed a glass of water to take it with, and I saw the light up in a window of a flat. And I ran up the stairs and asked the little old lady who lived there for a glass of water.
Little old lady on the second floor flat of Sudbury Lane?
Well, why shouldn't there be a little old lady on the second floor flat of Sudbury Lane?
Because there was a man's name on the bell push in the downstairs hall.
A man's name?
On the bell push.
Oh, yes, now I remember. The little old lady had just recently moved in and she hadn't had a chance to put her own name on the bell push.
How could you possibly know this?
Oh, she told me. She's really quite talkative.
I see.
Oh, don't you dare say I see. In that bloody superior tone. I asked for a glass of water, she gave me some, and while I was taking it, she told me she had just recently moved in and hadn't had a chance to name on the bell push. That's all.
Then why did I hear a man's voice when I listened at the door?
Who listened?
At the door.
Edgar!
voice in the vault.
Oh, you silly old fool! That was the radio. Little old ladies often keep the radio on morning and night. Companionship.
Then I heard champagne cold pop.
Oh, that was her knee. She has arthritis. Says it pops all the time.
I only heard it pop once.
Still, she only flexed it once.
And then I heard you laughing.
Oh, well, she looks absolutely silly when she's popping a knee.
And rumble music.
Oh, well, she put on a recording. You see, she does the rumba to exercise and need some sort of physical therapy.
Then why didn't I hear it pop again?
Oh, the therapy's working, of course.
But then I distinctly heard you say, darling.
Oh, well, she was a darling old lady.
And you laughed again.
Oh, well, absolutely looks ridiculous doing the rumba.
But the clink of glass.
Oh, I was finished with my water.
And then I heard you give a whoop of glee.
There you go. I never whoop. That was a schnauzer. Oh, I had trodden upon the poor dear creature's tail. That's all.
I say, Mavis, is this true?
Oh, yes, of course it's the truth. Why? Whatever did you think was the truth?
Oh, I hardly dare tell you I'm so filled with remorse to have ever for a moment doubted you.
Oh, well, naturally anyone would have thought things under the circumstances.
Mavis, my darling, can you forgive me?
Oh, yes, of course. I'm so sorry to have worried you. What an unpleasant evening you must have spent.
I've been an utter fool.
Now.
I do love you so.
Yes.
I don't deserve you.
Now.
Oh.
There.
Mavis, I must call my solicitor at once.
Sir Charles Romney? Whatever for?
Well, when I came home, I was so upset, so seething with rage for all the supposed things I had imagined you had done, that I was going to,
What are you getting at?
Mavis, I've done a dreadful thing.
What?
I told Sir Charles Romney I was to change the terms of my will.
You did what?
No, don't fret. I told him nothing more than just that. I never said a word against you. I never mentioned the slightest alteration in my request. I just told him that I wished to change it, but gave him no specifics.
Well, now, that's an absolute relief. I should never want Sir Charles to think that you, to hear that you would think that I would ever
I shall disabuse him of the notion at once before he wonders why I... Oh, drat. He was just going out when I rang him up. He said he wouldn't be home for several hours.
It doesn't matter. Why don't you call him tomorrow morning? Finish your drink and let's go to bed.
Yes, of course. Mavis, something has just crossed my mind.
Yes.
You say you were driving to the church. You saw that there was no meeting there. You turned around and started driving home, had this beastly headache. Parked your car on Sudbury Lane. Went up to the second floor flat, borrowed a glass of water, took the headache powders, and came straight downstairs and came straight away home.
Yes, and that's it precisely.
Well, in that case, there's something about your story that is decidedly odd.
Odd?
Odd.
What's so bloody odd about my story?
Mavis, I do wish you wouldn't use such language.
I'll use whatever bleeding language I bloody well please. Now, get to the point.
Well, it only looks as though your car was parked facing toward the church rather than away from it.
Oh, but I don't understand.
Well, what I mean to tell you is that it looks as though you were parking your car going toward the church rather than coming away from it, which means you didn't go to the church at all.
Well, nonsense. Of course